Hello and welcome to Plusbat. Today I'm going to be having a seed sowing bonanza. I've got an awful lot to sow and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to impart a few tips along the way that will help you with your seed sowing as well. Okay, let's get started. When I'm sowing seeds, I like to have everything ready before I actually start the sowing of the seeds. So I've written out all the labels and I've got the seeds ready in boxes. I've prepared the compost. I've got my seed trays all ready, and I've also prepared the area where I'm going to put the seeds once they're good to go. So they are some shelves inside the house, and I've got a couple of propagators inside. One is an actual propagator, and one is a heated mat that I've put an old propagator lid on top of. Both will help to get the seeds to germinate. So without further ado, I'm going to get the seeds and start sowing. In this lovely tin here, I have all the seeds that I should have sowed in March, but didn't get round to. Sometimes life just gets in the way, but I'm sowing them now and hopefully they'll catch up. If not, well, where's the harm? I have ashwagandha seeds, which yeah, there's three left in there. I sowed some last year, they didn't germinate. I sowed them the year before, they did germinate, and I got one plant which unfortunately I failed to overwinter, so I'm going to give it one last chance. As I take them out of the tin, I'm going to organize them according to what kind of seed tray they need. So some will have seed trays like this, some will have small little pots because I've only got a few seeds like the ashwagandha there, and others will want modules, and yeah, so I'll organize them as I go along. So next I've got cutting celery, so I'm going to put those there. Oh, wonderberry, which are a little tiny juicy fruit, a bit like a miniature tomato, and it is in the same family as the tomato. Solanaceae, I believe it is. Some tobacco flowers that I've saved myself. Broad beans. To be honest, these are so late now that I'd probably be better off putting them to one side and planting them directly outside. Tithonia, Mexican sunflower. These are a rose that I've saved the seeds of. Various flowers here. Gomphrena, which I've not grown before, so I'll give that one a try. Some lovely orangey pink and with a hint of yellow snapdragons. And some evening primrose, but an orange form called Sunset Boulevard. There's there. Oh, yeah. I'm smiling because I have 2 packets of these because I ordered one from one company and forgot, and then ordered it from another. So they're called Bells of Ireland. Molusella leavis. I wish I hadn't tried to say that now. Bells of Ireland, we'll stick with that. Oh, and yeah, I did it again. I ordered one lot of geranium, mixed geraniums, hardy geraniums from Chiltern Seeds, and then ordered another geranium hardy mix from Sutton's. So yeah, there's a theme there. Oh, some lovely stock. And then the last one is a hibiscus trionum. Okay, there we go. Right, now the fun begins. So what I'm going to do before I actually do any sowing is fill all of the trays with compost. There's a reason why. I'll come to that in a moment. The seed trays are now all full of compost, and I've made a start with the seeds that are quite large. So I've just sowed them straight on top and then added a layer of vermiculite. I haven't added the vermiculite to this one yet, so I'll do that now. And because the seeds are quite big, I'm going to add quite a thick layer of vermiculite. A little bit more. Okay, and I'll just put these to one side for now. The remaining seeds are all quite small, so what I like to do is water the compost before sowing. With smaller seeds, what you need to be aware of is that if you sow them and then water them, you can very easily wash the seeds away, which you don't want. Now, some of the gardening gurus will tell you to sow the seeds and then put the whole seed tray into a tub of water and then slowly let the compost absorb the water that way, which is fine and it does work, but it's a lot of time and is a bit of a faff, really. So my way, I think, is much better. Water the compost first, then sow the seeds. And that's what I'm going to do. Let's start with this stock here. Apricot column, it's called. So I'll just open that. Sow a layer of seeds. You don't want to sow too many seeds because you'll just be making more work for yourself later down the line when you have to prick them all out. Okay, that should be enough. And I've left some in there for next year. Yep, the date on the back is 2026, so it should be good for another year. Probably 2024. 2 years, in fact. Maybe I should get more back. Oh well. Then put your layer of vermiculite over the top. Or it's worth double checking the instructions on the back, because some seeds don't like to be covered. They want to have access to the sunlight, which helps them germinate. So, can't see with my glasses on. Right. Yes, it's about 6 millimeters deep for this one. So that's fine. So I'll put about 6 millimeters of vermiculite on top. You don't actually have to water it again. Even though the vermiculite is dry, it will absorb the water from the bottom where it meets the wet compost. And that's enough to help them germinate. Finally, the most important bit, the label. Where have I put the label? There's me. I start the video saying how organized I am and then fail at the first hurdle. Found it. Pop it in the side here. And I'll pop this in the propagator. Let me just see if that's the best bet for it. Yep, propagator. And hopefully we'll have some lovely seedlings in a few weeks. I've got a lot more seeds still to sow. So yeah, wish me luck. So this is a good example of what I was mentioning just now, in that snapdragons don't like to be covered up with soil or vermiculite. So I'm just going to sprinkle these on the top, and these are really small. Wow. It's a bit tight with the seeds here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gosh, about 10, I think. So I'm going to change of plan. I'm going to use a smaller pot for these because I don't need one this size just for 10 seeds. Put that carefully away there because I don't want to lose them. And I'll be back in a moment. I've got a smaller pot now and I've put some compost in it, but not right to the top. So I've put it up to about there, because if it's right up to here, not as much heat from the propagator is going to reach the surface. So that should do the job. Get the seeds What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the end of one of the seed labels and just sort of flick off individual seeds into the pot in different areas. On the label for these seeds, it says F1, which means that they've taken 2 different snapdragon plants and crossed them to get this lovely orange and pink and yellow colour. And it does mean, unfortunately, that I can't save the seeds, because if I do, they won't come true, which means they won't look exactly the same as these ones. So, yeah, so that kind of explains why they're so expensive. Although $3.99 for 10 seeds does seem a little bit steep, but they are lovely. And I just realised I haven't followed my own advice. I forgot to water before sowing the seeds. So what I'm going to do is probably exactly what the gardening experts tell us to do, and I'm going to put them in a pot of water and let the compost absorb the water that way. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, that should work. I'll leave that to soak and then pop it in the propagator. And in the meantime, I'll carry on with the rest of them. Now with these geraniums, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 batch of seeds on one half and 1 on the other, just to give me an idea of which one germinates best. I'm going to sow the lot, actually. I'm not going to save any back for next year. Again, with the Suttons, not many seeds. Probably about 10. But to be fair to Suttons, I have had good germination rates. So, and actually with Chiltern, I've had some not so good germination rates. So, you know, I'd rather have 10 seeds that all germinated than 20 where only 10% did. Next up is a cutting celery, and this comes from Real Seeds, who are a lovely seed provider, and they're just up the road from where I live, here in Wales. There's quite a lot in here, good old Real Seeds. They are a little bit old though, so I'm going to sow quite a lot and hope that I get decent germination, despite the fact that they've been sat in the drawer for a long, long time. Okay. Yep, again, surface sown. They need light to germinate. Okay. All that's left now are the ones that are going to go in these small pots. So I'll just fill them up with compost and give them a water. So first up, we have the rose, which I saved from a rose hip. And yep, just pop these in here. And I'm going to cover that with a layer of compost rather than vermiculite. There we go. Then the Wonderberry. These are really, really old. Yeah, so I'm going to say sow every single one of them and just hope for the best. We have the ashwagandha. Okay, good luck. I'll pop these in a propagator, and then the last ones are the broad beans, which I will pop outside and sow directly. Well, that's it for all the seeds I have to sow in March. So yeah, there's still another box though of the April seeds, and there's quite a lot in there. So I'm going to get going on these, but I will fast forward now and we can see how things look when everything is done. That's it. The April seeds have now all been sown. I've got some in the propagator here. They're on shelves here in the living room. And there are more seeds on the shelves behind me here. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.